Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Well, now that the primary voting day is over, political parties and candidates are looking ahead to the general election in November, including some Republicans who are fighting for their place on the ballot. Some public office nominees of the VI GOP have not been recognized by election officials in the primaries. Now, the party, along with one nominee, is suing them. News2's April Knight has that story.
The VI Republican Party is coming after the election establishment in the territory. They say election officials disenfranchised thousands of VI Republican voters.
The Democrat-controlled Joint Board of Elections is trying to rig the system to ensure that Democratic candidates in November have no competition at the ballot box.
For the first time ever, the election system held a one-party primary this year just for Democrats. That's after they got sued by the VI Democratic Party for sending out a memo that the election system will not include party office elections, just public offices in the primaries. But that memo caused confusion in the VI GOP. They got it on May 5th, according to the lawsuit filed by the Territorial Committee and Congressional nominee Gordon Ackley.
Convened a convention on June 11th, nominated our candidates, and elected our party officers. After the convention, the Joint Board of Elections is saying, well, we accept the party officers but don't accept the public officers. We could have filed a lawsuit immediately. We didn't. We called their bluff.
No Republican ballot at all in the primaries. But according to the VI GOP's executive director, Dennis Lennox, there should have been a write-in ballot for Republicans.
Mr. Ackley filed a declaration of write-in candidacy more than 15 days before the primary election.
The Virgin Islands GOP is now seeking one of two remedies from the court: either force election officials to hold a Republican primary, or a more likely option, now that the primaries are over, include their congressional candidate's name in the general ballot in November.
Place Mr. Ackley's name, since he is the Republican nominee. There's no question about that. There's no dispute. He's the uncontested Republican candidate for Congress on the ballot in November.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Meanwhile, all the unofficial results from the primaries have been posted on the election system's website. Election officials are still counting ballot counts. This evening on St. Thomas, the count for party ballots started around 6 p.m. Those are the offices within the Democratic Party of the VI. That count will continue until Thursday evening. On St. Croix, meanwhile, election officials have started counting the absentee ballots. If you wish to observe the process, you can visit the election system offices. On Tuesday, Governor Juana Fluí Hospital and Medical Center's acting CEO, attorney Richard Tomas Evangelista, responded to recent news reports regarding excess moisture in the hemodialysis unit and provided the following statement. He said, "We are working aggressively to address the challenges with our aging facility. The safety of our patients, employees, and visitors come first. And our executive management team and maintenance department are working tirelessly to ensure that everyone at Juana Fluí is kept in a safe and comfortable environment. We are committed to working on a permanent solution to address the ongoing challenges of moisture in the Juana Fluí facility." Senator Kurt Violet is encouraging Juana Fluí Hospital Medical Center to expeditiously resolve that issue, as he said it can be very problematic for patients and employees alike. Violet is reminding Juana Fluí that infections are a leading cause of health risk in the chronic hemodialysis patients, and strict, specific policies and procedures designed to reduce infection should be implemented. Mold and mildew, he says, tends to grow wherever there is excessive condensation and sufficient humidity in the air. Aside from the infection risk, the floors may be wet and slippery, which can pose a fall risk. Senator Kenneth Gittens reacted as well. Here's more.
It should never come to this, and I support the nurses in their actions, holding those in authority accountable for better working conditions. This is certainly unacceptable. And speaking with hospital officials, that they are working to address the issue at its core. There are problems to insulate or replace leaking equipment, remove and replace saturated tiles, relocate the machines, and bring the entire unit back to a condition that is clean and sanitary for the staff and patients.
And Gittins is reacting to the nurses sit-out due to that issue. Be sure to count on 2 to keep you updated. Turn our attention to crime reports. On Monday, August 8 at approximately 2:45 p.m., St. Thomas officers traveled to the Schneider Hospital in reference to a shooting victim. They made contact with a 24-year-old Hispanic female who has sustained gunshot wounds to her right upper shoulder, right ear, and right cheek. The victim was admitted for further medical treatment. The forensic detectives interviewed the victim and took photos. Anyone with information about this crime, you are asked to contact the VIPD at 340-774-2211 or the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 714-9801. You can also contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. The case is presently under investigation by the Investigation Bureau. Meanwhile, police are searching for Elvis Edwards, a 46-year-old black male, for rape in the first degree. Here's more.
Mr. Edward was born in St. Thomas and currently lives in St. Croix. Mr. Edward weighs about 191 pounds, height 5'7", brown eyes with a teardrop tattoo under his eye. He has black locks and gold teeth, and Mr. Edwards frequents the Scion Farm, Castle Coakley, Peter's Rest, and Angel's Bar in the Golden Grove area. Elvis Edward currently has one arm in a sling. If you come in contact with this individual or have any information regarding Elvis Edwards' whereabouts, please contact the Criminal Investigations Bureau at 340-778-2211, the anonymous tip line at Crime Stoppers VI at 1-800-222-TIPS or 911.
Noel Bishopel, 27, and Sierra Wimberly, 25, each pleaded guilty today in district court in St. Thomas to 1 count of possession with intent to distribute marijuana. According to the plea agreement, on April 6, 2016, U.S. CBP inspection officers detected narcotics in checked bags belonging to the two after their arrival at the Cyril King Airport on a Delta Airlines flight from Atlanta. Both women were taken to secondary inspection and their checked bags were further examined. CBP officers seized approximately 4.9 kilograms of marijuana from Wimberly's bag and 9.45 kilograms of marijuana from Bishopel's bag. They each face a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison, 3 years supervised release, and $250,000 fine. Well, WAPA has confirmed that everything is working well after power went on and off repeatedly in the past couple of days. WAPA attributed the problem to a frequently failing generating unit. Now they have to think ahead because in the very near future, that same unit could be out of action for several months. NEWS2's April Knight has an update.
Power is back to normal after a series of outages on Sunday evening and Monday caused by a failure in one of WAPA's generating units on St. Thomas. On Sunday evening, generating unit 23 failed. The problem had to do with battery chargers, and it caused intermittent outages that night. And then on Monday, a separate problem but with the same generating unit. It forced WAPA to rotate outages because the remaining units couldn't handle the district's power demand.
Our plant personnel detected a fuel leak on unit 23, and at about 11 o'clock they were in the process of switching from one pump to another to begin the repairs on that fuel leak. When they switched to the standby pump, there was a malfunction with the motor on that pump, and that caused the unit to fall offline.
By Monday evening, WAPA reported all power back online across the district. But things are looking a little uncertain as we head into September. That's when the same unit, generating unit 23, which is WAPA's workhorse, is scheduled to go through a massive overhaul. WAPA officials say they have 4 other generating units that can step up and handle all the electric needs in the district. But if any of those fail,
it puts us in a difficult position because the minute you have a failure in any of those 4 units, you now are faced with less generation capacity.
WAPA is looking at other options as contingencies, including leasing needed equipment.
Or start to look for new generation to introduce into the Randolph-Harley Power Plant on St. Thomas to augment what we have in capacity at the present time.
Reporting for NEWS2, I'm April Knight.
Overseas, less than 3 months to go before election 2016, and both candidates are campaigning hard. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton spoke in Kissimmee, Florida Monday. Some were surprised to see the father of the Orlando nightclub shooter in the crowd. Here's more.
And I know how many people, family members, loved ones, and friends are still grieving
Jacoby Sabello says he felt the love and excitement after meeting Hillary Clinton at the rally in Kissimmee yesterday.
I mean, I'm still shocked that I met her and I shook her hand and we spoke to her and everything.
But that feeling quickly disappeared when he found out Omar Mateen's dad, Sadiq Mateen, was there too, right behind her.
He probably was a little bit more closer to her.
It's a sight that now disgusts him.
And knowing that there's Pulse survivors that are going to the rally to support Hillary, you know, because she's been with the LGBT community, she's been to Pulse. So, you know, to just find out that he was there, or, you know, it's really disappointing. Like, I'm not happy about it at all. I feel like let down.
But after the rally, Sadiq Mateen explained to a reporter why he came.
I wish because I spoke a lot about that, and I wish that my son joined the army and fought ISIS and destroyed ISIS. That would be much better.
But Jacoby can't help but feel this wasn't a coincidence. So News 6 emailed the Clinton campaign. In a quick response, a representative replied, the rally was a 3,000-person open-door event for the public. This individual wasn't invited as a guest, and the campaign was unaware of his attendance until after the event.
Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers there, we can see everything up. The Dow 3, NASDAQ 12, S&P 500 also up. Coming up on News 2, a big win for Clayton Laurent, our boxer representing in the Olympics in Rio. We hear from him right after his win. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Some more WAPA news. The Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority is scheduled to begin Phase 1 of the Christiansted Rehabilitation Project on Company Street in Christiansted Town. The project will include the replacement of 1,800 linear feet of water line along Company Street between the Christiansted Cemetery and the Church Street intersection. The project began and should last until Monday, November 14, 2016. The project is funded through the EPA Drinking Water State Revolving Fund and administered through DPNR's Drinking Water Capital Improvement Grant Program as a sub-grant award to WAPA. The project total for this contract is $299,500 awarded to VI Paving. And the Department of Public Works says be prepared for the closures in parts of Main Street, which began from today through August 18th in line with the Main Street Enhancement Project. There will be closures on Route 308 on Main Street. The contractor, Tip Top Construction, will be working along the western portion of Main Street between Guttitz Gata, near Eden N Bar Library, and Stortiva Gata. During this time, motorists will be detoured through Stortiva Gata to allow construction crews to do an underground survey in preparation for installing the underground utilities. There will be pedestrian access through the work zone. Well, St. Thomas's East End Medical Center kicked off National Health Center Week as we reported. They began a series of activities with an open house on Monday to commemorate National Health Center Week, which is recognized from August 7th to 13th. The 2016 theme is Celebrating America's Health Centers, Innovators in Community Health.
On Friday, we travel to St. John. We will be at the St. Ursula Senior Center. We'll be doing some screenings. We'll also be doing some education and providing some information that will support the elderly at the senior center, but also on St. John, about heat exhaustion, nutrition tips, and so forth. We will be collaborating with the UVI Extension to do some collaborative work on Sunday at the Bordeaux Farmers Market, where we'll be doing health screenings, health education workshops, and so forth. And I encourage everyone to come out on Sunday to the Farmers Market.
And of course, as we shared, the Frederiksted Health Center is also holding their events. Today it was at the Doc James Racetrack. And on Wednesday, August 10th, They are welcoming all small business owners at Frederiksted Healthcare Building from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thursday, it's Senior Day at Wim Gardens from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the Louis C. Brown Apartments 2 to 4. Then Saturday, Fishermen and Farmers Lorraine Farmers Market 8 a.m. to noon. Friday, all Frederiksted Healthcare sites will be closed. Well, how are our athletes doing? Big news to report. If you missed it today, super heavyweight VI's Clayton Laurent went up against Germany and won his first round in the ring. He is therefore advancing in his class after that fight. His next fight is against France on Saturday at 12 p.m. Well, we got reaction from the champ in Rio after that win.
I just had my first fight against Germany. I was successful. I got my first W here. Right now we're just doing recovery, icing, getting ready for the next fight on Saturday against France. I had a great experience. He was a tough fighter, tough competition, but we got everything was possible, and I was able to pull it out with good technique, good focus, and listening to the corner. See you guys on Saturday.
Congrats to our athletes. They are doing a wonderful job, and we will keep you updated. Meanwhile, Cy Thompson is now number 11 of 47 after races 3 and 4 of 10. Now, tomorrow's events, Cy will be sailing races 5 and 6. Swimmer Rex Tullius will be in the men's backstroke competition at 12:25 p.m., and we will have highlights from that as well. The undoubted face of the athletics, Usain Bolt hasn't just won 6 Olympic golds and 11 world titles, but has shattered world records along the way. The defending 100 meters, 200 meter, and 4x100 Olympic champion sat down with Amanda Davies as he discussed his plans on going for an unprecedented triple-triple, as well as his thoughts on rival Justin Gatlin.
You scared a few people, I think it's fair to say, in London. You didn't necessarily look as comfortable, as easy as you have done in the past. How worried should people be?
Never worried. I think it was the fact that I didn't get to compete at my trials, and I was just coming off of an injury. So you're rusty, and I needed a few runs. I needed some pace work, and after that run, I got a lot of training in, and my coach is happy, and as long as my coach is happy, I know I'll be fine.
So prediction time. How is it going to go? 100 meters. What are you going to win?
I'm going to win. I never try to predict times. I avoid that because you never know. It's
Can
tricky.
we predict medal colour?
Definitely. Goals, all 3 goals. There's never anything else for me when it comes to a championship.
Chances of a world record, do you think?
Yeah, I think definitely I can break the 200 world record. I definitely want to. I said I wanted to go under 19 seconds. I don't know if that would be possible, but nothing tried, nothing done.
And meanwhile, the United States female gymnastics team won big, claiming the gold medal in the team all-around finals. The team had an impressive 5-point lead ahead of the Russians heading into the final rotation. Simone Biles, Ali Reisman, and Laurie Hernandez competed on the vault first. Next, Biles, Gabby Douglas, and newcomer Madison Koshian competed on the uneven bars. Koshian's performance was nearly flawless with a score of 15.933, and Douglas's 15.76 secured the team's lead. Then Biles, Reisman, and Hernandez again competed on the beam, with Biles killing it mid-beam routine. Well, here's something coming back at home. Just put it on the calendar. Marlin Madness is hitting the USVI, and that's from August 15th to 20th for the 44th USVI Open Atlantic Blue Marlin Tournament, 2nd Wet n Wild Tournament, and 4th Marlin Fest. These simultaneous events draw the best sports fishermen in the world, plus hundreds of Blue Marlin fans who are all ready for the tight lines and fun times. Tournament competition kicks off on August 15th when registered anglers, captains, and crews will set their sights on catching and releasing the most blue marlin. The public is invited to catch the spirit of the sport by walking to the docks at the American Yacht Harbor Marina and watching the big rigs come in around 6:30 p.m. Be sure to stick around. Your News2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.
has been some haze across the Virgin Islands, and we will continue to deal with that over the next couple of days. Thanks for joining me tonight. And as we can see on our satellite, we noticed the shades of gray to white, some cloud cover into our area, even a passing shower. This is associated with an area of low pressure that's developing, but it's not going to amount to much other than an isolated shower or two throughout the overnight hours. Our temperature at 81 degrees. Then for tomorrow, we're back in the 90s for St. John. A shower or thunderstorm still possible, very isolated in nature. That's also the case for St. Thomas, with our daytime high also coming in at 90. St. Croix, a pretty similar forecast, much of the day under sunshine, so if you have any outdoor plans coming up, should be greeted with nice weather for the most part. A little bit of some haze still around. In addition, we could be talking an isolated shower in the area. Our marine forecast for the Atlantic facing beaches, our waves are between 3 to 5 feet. Winds are out of the east between 10 to 15 knots. For the Caribbean facing sides, we'll have waves between 2 to 4 feet, so those waves are coming down. Our winds here also out of the east between 10 to 15 knots. Now, as we head into our extended forecast, checking out what's ahead into the later half of the week, plenty of bright sunshine Thursday into Friday, and this is really our best bet to have some of that dry Saharan dust stick around and produce some hazy conditions. Our daytime highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s. Then as we head into the upcoming weekend, next tropical wave set to push through, but it's really looking weak as of now, so better chance to see a stray shower in some spots Saturday and Sunday, but that'll be pretty much it. Most of the day going to be dry and quite nice, with our daytime highs in the lower 90s and our overnight lows staying in the lower 80s. Sandy, back to you.
Thank you for that, Molly. Here's our news to weather picture by Jose Garcia, 9 years of age, representing Lockhart Elementary School. Beautiful colors, summer colors we can call it. We see including some sunshine there and a nice bright rainbow. Hope you're enjoying your summer break. Jose, send us your news to weather picture to be featured right here to the address right there on the screen. Be sure to include your name, age, school, and a brief description, and tune in to see it right here on News 2. That is all for this edition. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sandra Gumansing. We will see you next time.